Hey everyone, Crystal Gamer here with a new Sims 4 build video. This one here is a last minute video. It's for Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day really snuck up on me this year. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I was thinking it was this weekend, and it's in the middle of the week, and I don't know what on earth I was thinking, but nonetheless, I don't know. They were talking about it last night on the TV or something like that, and so it dawned on me that it was Valentine's Day, and I said, you know what? I should probably do some kind of Valentine's Day build. I did that one room that I submitted for that build and buy challenge. I did that romantic bedroom, and so that was nice, but I was kind of thinking like, oh, I should try and do something different. And so, as you probably noticed by the beginning and the title and all of that good stuff, I ended up doing a wedding area. So I decided to do an outdoor park where you can have weddings. So it's all set up for a wedding, and we end up with several kind of cool things in this. Unfortunately, if you're going to download it on the gallery, it is on the gallery, but the pictures out there, goodness. I so wish that we had control over the pictures, because the pictures of this on the gallery just don't do it justice at all. It makes it look really kind of crummy. But, you know, hey, what can you do? Nonetheless, the site features a lot of pretty cool stuff. We have what we're starting off here with, which is the actual wedding pavilion itself, and I used that really nice big arch, but there's an actual wedding arch underneath that. So I believe that the Sims should be able to get married there without a problem, because within the arch that I guess is not a wedding arch, there's a wedding arch in there. So there is a wedding arch up there, so that should work, hopefully. I have not tested that because I don't have any Sims that are going to get married or any that I could test it with. So I just assume it works because that's the way the game's supposed to work, so let's hope that's all good. And as you can see, I threw a couple of pianos up there, figuring that, oh well, they might want piano music coming down and whatnot, so just trying to make the area all nice and pretty. And so we end up with a few cool things. I include a photography pavilion, and I include a pretty large dance pavilion. I have two of the largest dance floors in there. I put a DJ booth, a couple of tables, and then we end up with a whole area for eating, dining area with a couple of the buffets and things like that. And we have a little gifting area that we end up with, and a fountain, like a romantic fountain area that includes the wishing well, which I think came from the romantic garden stuff. There's quite a bit here, I believe, that came from the romantic garden stuff. So if you're wanting to download this off the gallery, just know that I think that there's quite a bit in this build that comes from that. At least that's my best guess, if I remember. There's a lot of pink garden stuff. I just did another build, which interestingly, my videos are going to be a little bit backwards now, because I did a solid color challenge and I happened to be assigned the color pink. And so I've had some experience with this pink stuff lately. And that build was going to go out before this one, but then it dawned on me that, hey, Valentine's Day, so I'm pushing the solid color build out a little bit later. Figured I'd try and get this one out first. And as you can see, my collection of stuff up front, I went through everything, and like I did with one of my other builds too. I do this with builds periodically, more than one of my other builds actually, but I do this with builds periodically where I just go through and I have an idea for a concept or something in mind, and I'll start pulling stuff out that I think that I could potentially use that might meet the requirements of the concept. And most of the time I end up throwing out, I don't know, at least half or 3/4 of what I end up pulling, but at least it gives me an inventory of what I have that I think might be good for the specific build. So I kind of like to do it for that reason. And I had a few different, I was trying to figure out like what else I was going to do besides the 3 pavilions, because I planned on the dancing area, I planned on the actual wedding pavilion, and I planned on a little photography type pavilion. So I I knew I was going to have one segment left, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and I was thinking some kind of sculpture or something, some kind of sculpture or art with fountains is sort of what I was thinking for the last part. So you see I have a couple of sculptures out there just kind of hanging out. That's why they're hanging out there, because I hadn't dismissed them yet. I ended up in the end going with the sculpture with the birds flying. I really like that one. That one's a really, really good one. And it fit the mood. It fits, to me, that one fits a romantic mood pretty well, and so that worked for this. This roof was kind of fun. The building is an almost octagon, but not quite. And, you know, it's awesome that we have these. They gave us the curved roofs, and they gave us the octagon. Yeah, that word. Octagonal. Octagonal? Yeah. That's kind of a tough word. Anyway. Thanks for listening to me be weird. But anyway, they gave us those. They gave us the 5 and 6 sided roofs, and I'm not even going to attempt those because I just screwed up the 8 sided one so bad that we're not even going to attempt the 5 and 6. But nonetheless, they gave us all those roofs, which is so totally awesome. The only thing I wish they had done is, you know how we have like the half-hipped roofs? Like, I wish that they had given us the 5, 6, and 8 sided roofs where we have them in both complete, you know, all the way around and also half. That would have been helpful, but they have not done that. So, what can you do? Loves little stars here. Really, really love little stars. I think it makes the whole little pavilion area, gazebo wedding area. I keep calling it a pavilion. I guess it's either. It's a pavilion or a gazebo, I guess. The really pretty wedding area, that's what it is. I would get married here. I think it's a pretty cool place. And I like these lights all the way around. I like there were a lot of things that I was able to use for lighting, between having those trees on the side of the wedding pavilion that have lights, and this surrounding, I don't even know what you call that stuff, but that surrounding stuff with all the lights. So I like that there were many ways for me to incorporate lighting that, I don't know, just fit really well with the build and wasn't obtrusive, you know, and just kind of went in with it really nicely. And here's my little bar area. And behind the bar, I decided to do those walls of bubbles that we have. Those are so cool. I really like those walls of bubbles. This is the first time I've used them in a build, and I like them. They're pretty neat. The one thing I wish I could have gotten rid of the fence in the pavilion part, and you know what? I probably could have, but I'm thinking real life, like you would have some kind of fence there or something for safety, and so I left it there, even though from a sim perspective, I probably could have gotten rid of it. It's all good though. And these here things that I'm putting around here, I think that they're actually supposed to be like display surfaces or something like that, and I use them as like a border for the dining area, and I really like them because they light up. I love all this stuff that lights up. I love how much stuff that we have that lights up, because I use all kinds of different light up stuff in different builds. I end up getting lucky and being able to use different things, it seems. I just did I just completed the No Walls challenge, and you guys will see that video soon. And I end up using a lot of things with lights in that video, or for that build. So I don't know, I just find that stuff, I like it. I find it comes in really handy. So now we're creating the main dining area here, and this here is the bride and groom table, is what this is supposed to be here. So that's the main table, familial table, bride and groom, and all of that stuff there. And now the dining areas. Now we can only have 20 Sims on a lot at a time, so obviously this accommodates a lot more, but you know, hey, gotta have it for some show. And we can only have, you know, you don't want to put only 20 seats because then it doesn't quite look like enough. So, although I don't think I actually didn't go too far above the 20. No, I didn't go too far above the 20. But then we have all the stools for the bars too. And I also put in a little bit of seating up in the dance floor pavilion area as well, so people can like sit and watch other people dance or something. Not really as a dining area, but just as a social and to watch people dance type stuff. So a couple of seats up there too. On the outside of the dance floor, you know. So setting up the outside now of the dance pavilion, I wanted to include some more kind of floral elements. I felt that it was looking too, I don't know what's the word, just too bland, too clinical, too something. So I added that floral element on the outside, and then I go back later and I added on the inside too. Because I still felt it was looking too bland. I felt like we needed a little bit more floral element in there. And now I'm making a little photography studio. I thought that might be a nice little area. And I give them a little waiting area inside with the table that has the, I don't know, coals or something it lights up. I really like that table. That was my way of getting some extra light in there in addition to the photography lights without, you know, putting obtrusive lighting in there. And I also put the heaters in there too, the outdoor heaters. I scatter the place with those, and those give off a little bit of light as well. So it ends up, to me, I really like this place during the day, but I really like it at night. All of the lighting elements really work for me. So that makes me pretty happy. I'm hoping some people have, you know, I'm hoping some people are far better than me about actually playing the game. And so that maybe they'll want to actually for real download this venue specifically for weddings. And I'm hoping that it works well for weddings. I would not mind feedback if I should change anything. Because I don't really play the game too much, I think I'm meeting all the requirements. I did look up some stuff, and I know like I need to have a wedding arch, and I put the wedding arch that should allow you to get married underneath the wedding arch itself that's there. So I think that should work. I have bathrooms on site, so I think we're good with that. I have the buffet tables, and I did test those. So I think that I'm meeting all the requirements for a wedding party, and that it'll work just fine, but let me know if I'm not, if there's anything that I should change about the build, because I'll make changes and re-upload if there's something that, you know, doesn't allow people to use it for a wedding, because I really would like people to actually for real be able to use this for a wedding, because that, I don't know, it'd just be cool. I mean, it's nice for show too. I don't know. I'll build everything just because I want to build it and I like it, and I'll do it for show, but it would be extra nice if people could actually use it. And I mean, you can use it even outside of weddings. I tried to test a few things, and I ended up with a bunch of Sims on a lot because it's just a generic lot. So I ended up with a bunch of Sims here, just, you know, dancing and doing stuff. Without even wanting them here. I wish that we could kick them out. Like sometimes I would like to kick them out. I was trying to do some of the screenshots, and you know, I have this guy like wearing these dressed down clothes that you'd wear to a sports bar, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're killing my screenshots, man. And I have no way of getting rid of you. But you know, it's kind of like, it's sort of meant to be a little bit more formal, this wedding park here. But Sims are going to use it any way they want, I suppose. But the whole idea is if you have a wedding, then you set it to happen here. And I think you can do that, right? If you're on a lot or something. I hope people can set to have their weddings here. And I think you can hire a photographer or something. I hope. I probably should play the game just a little bit more so I have like some clue, right? And then I have people keep telling me lately, this is so awesome. People keep telling me lately that I have an awesome voice for this stuff. And I had no idea, because I have hated my voice like my whole life. Because I think, doesn't everyone hate their voice? Like, I don't know, the way we sound to ourselves. No one likes your own voice, right? I don't know. Maybe some people do. But nonetheless, I've always hated my own voice. And so since I've started this YouTube thing, I'm getting all this feedback. Like, everyone keeps telling me I have a really good voice, which is so strange to me, but I'm really, really thankful. And I had a point. What was the point? Oh, yeah, I know what the point was. So one person made a comment recently that I should do some Let's Plays, and I've been thinking about it, but I don't know, would people go nuts with me, because I really don't know what I'm doing when I play the game. Like, there's a lot of stuff I'd probably be like having to pause and figure out, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because I really don't play it enough. I've never once played a sim all the way through from beginning of life to death, like, ever. I've never ever tried to have babies or raise kids or anything like that. And half the time I forget to even create children's rooms in the houses that I create. It's terrible. I'll remember to do a laundry room before I remember to do a kid's room. And I'll give you 3 guesses why that is. I've never had kids. That's the clue. You don't even have to guess. I've never had kids. So that's why. That's the thing. So if I had had kids, if they had been a part of my life, then I would probably remember that a whole lot more. But yeah, it's just not something that I think of, because my day-to-day life doesn't have children in it. So I wish that speaking of children, I kind of sort of wish that there was a way for me to make this particular lot adults only. But I don't know, since it's a generic lot, I didn't see any way to make that any kind of setting. And I set it as generic because if I tried to set it as a park, they wanted me to make chess tables. And I just really didn't feel like this venue called for chess tables. So I just made it generic. I uploaded it to the gallery without selecting any traits for it, so people can select their own traits if they'd like. I chose for mine, I chose romantic horror and the ones that allow for the better social interactions. But I figured people might want to choose their own, make their own decisions what they want for it. Especially since I don't really play the game I'm other people will know better than I what the best lock traits are for this. I was just kind of guessing on the ones that I chose for mine. And I chose it for mine, and who knows, I'll probably never play this lot. Because when am I going to get a sim married? I don't know. If I do a Let's Play, maybe I'll get a sim married. That would be an interesting kind of goal, since I've never ever done that. Try to get a sim married. I had one girl that I started playing. I think she's the one that I've played the longest. I did sort of like a rags to riches type thing with her. And I think I've played her longer than I've played any other girl or any other sim, period. But one of the things that I was trying to do with her is I was trying to actually find her someone to date. And I don't know, the Sims guys are so... Oh, I don't know. They leave a little bit to be desired, is in my opinion. I don't know. She hasn't found anyone she's liked because I haven't liked anyone enough. I haven't liked anyone enough for her, so... Yeah. So she hasn't dated anyone yet. But that would be an interesting thing. Like, I wouldn't mind having a sim and getting them to date, and, maybe having... It would be kind of cool if you could, like, date and not... I don't know. In my very limited gameplay experience, it seems to me that you can't, like, date. You can only... Really, you only can be in a committed relationship, because your other sim, anyone else that you're involved with even a little bit, gets, like, irately jealous if anything happens. So you can't, like... I don't know. You can't be, like, a little bit more aloof, like, nah, dude, I like you, but... we're just kind of dating here. We're not really, we're not really doing anything that serious that, like, can we do that? I don't think we can do that. It would be cool if we could. I know there is a trait called non-committal. Maybe Sims that have that trait can do that kind of like dating thing where they're not immediately involved in a relationship and dealing with some crazy jealous other Sim. I don't know. You guys can always let me know in the comments if you know. Other people probably know a lot more than I do because I just, like I say, I don't play the game enough to know. And I've never played the Sim. I've never played a Sim with a non-committal trait, so I don't know exactly how that works. It's fun playing Sims with different traits though. Every now and then, like I'll play a little bit and make some discoveries about like I did the minimalist build, and so I created a little Sim for that. And so she was neat, and she was a perfectionist, and I learned that when you have those traits, they just go around with little spray bottles and clean everything, which is hysterical. Then I did another one for another reason and selected the slob trait, and that one is actually, man, that makes it convenient for running a Sim because they don't care like if their conditions are really slovenly. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's great. So you don't even have to clean up after your Sim, just leave the place a mess, and your Sim's totally cool with it. Oh, and here we are. We're already approaching the end. I was rambling on about all this other stuff, and we're already running into the end and the screenshots and cinematics and all that stuff. Well, happy Love Day to everyone. I hope y'all enjoy this build. I hope maybe a few of you get to possibly use this for weddings. And like I said, if there's anything with it that I should be changing to make it better for weddings, do let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching the video, and I hope to see y'all next time around. And if you like it enough, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I think that's about it. Bye now.